Hare Krishna. It is a great privilege for us to welcome His Holiness Dheer Shant Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj is the direct disciple of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj accepted the sannyas order in 2015. He is serving as a pioneer preacher for Srila Prabhupada's transcendental literature. He has developed many projects and is spreading Krishna consciousness in Europe, in India, and many other places. He has been a exemplary educator, teacher, and devotee within Krishna Bhakti since 1972. How many years? Most of us were not even born. He has been through all the ashrams, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and now Maharaj is in the Sannyas ashram. He is also known for his very hearty children's education program. Maharaj preaches to many children. Maharaj does online Bhagavad Gita courses. He conducts intense japa workshops and many presentations. So we are very privileged and fortunate to have Maharaj association. Thank you, Maharaj, for blessing us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So this morning, because the verse, there are many verses to be read in the Bhagavatam in which you're studying. So I was thinking for my class this morning we will talk about Srila Prabhupada. Is that okay? Okay. Om Agyatam Anandasya Dinanjana Salakaya Chaksu Ramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swabhadantikam Vanchakalpatubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitananam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is this going to be translated or just speak? Okay, thank you. So Srila Prabhupada, as we know, amongst the Acharyas, he was very unique, special, since he was able to spread bhakti where bhakti had never been spread before. This is one of his unique contributions to the world and in amongst other acharyas, that he was able to spread bhakti where bhakti had never been spread before. So in that sense he's very unique, and therefore we're very special to be part of his unique lila by being members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So congratulations all of you. And there are many topics to discuss about Srila Prabhupada, and I will highlight just a few of them this morning, which may be interesting for your own spiritual practice. Of course, one of the things that Prabhupada did before he did anything, was to pray to Lord Krishna, and putting himself in a very lowly position. And these are just some of the prayers which he offered Krishna and his spiritual master as he arrived in the Boston Harbor before undertaking this unique what we used to call the Hare Krishna explosion, preaching Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So these are some of the prayers. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, my Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. O spiritual master of the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. Are you happy? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, if you like. You may not be fully happy, but you've seen a turning point in your life. Is that correct? You've seen the magic take place. It is a very mystical experience to become a devotee and see how you're leaving all that nonsense from before and going forward and becoming transcendental to the modes of material nature. Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, make me dance. Oh Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge. I have a strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. So it's very interesting for us to observe how Prabhupada, even though he was pure in every sense of the word, still he took shelter of Lord Krishna and his spiritual master to receive benedictions from them on top like it. I was doing something in front of Prabhupada once. I was moving my leg like this. He was preaching and I was moving my leg like. What does that mean what does it mean to you? Huh? If I'm doing this in front of you, what does it mean? Is that? Yeah. And impatient, right? It's a sign of impatience. Oh, when is he going to finish? Nothing against you, but I need to tell you, you can't do this. So what was I saying? Yeah. The interesting thing, how Prabhupada approached Krishna and his spiritual master before doing anything. And this is a good thing for us to observe because we're also engaged in the same mission, trying to assist Sri Sri Gaura Nitai in spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So any endeavor, any efforts that we make, we should first approach Guru and Krishna for their blessing. So like before giving class, you ask the Lord, please, I'm not qualified, but you can please help me, this service I'm doing this morning. Please bless me, please help me, please give me intelligence. This is how to approach any service, whatever it is. When Prabhupada arrived in New York, he met one Nikhilananda, who was from the Ramakrishna mission. Of course, Prabhupada was all alone, so any kind of help was welcomed. But Ramakrishna mission, as we know, we don't accept it. And Nikhilananda also tried to preach to Prabhupada that he should give up his diet of vegetarianism. He said, you cannot live in New York without eating meat and drinking liquor to keep warm. That was his idea. You should change your dress. And Prabhupada said to him, I haven't come here to compromise. I've come here to give Krishna consciousness. To give Krishna consciousness, I must be an example. So I will not compromise. And many of you have come from India to the West to beg for something. I have not come to beg anything. You have come to beg modern day life, technology. I can do without that. I can use it, but I can also do without it. And therefore, I will not compromise. And we saw how Prabhupada, in pictures, Prabhupada walking in New York City in the middle of winter with his dhoti and kurta and a big thick jacket. So Prabhupada took a lot of risks by, especially New York City. It's the worst city in the world, you could say, in the sense that it's very materialistic, full of madness, and contrary to where he just came from, which was Vrindavan, the complete opposite. So he took a lot of risks by coming to the West, to America, to New York, to spread Krishna consciousness. And he also had to compromise, just like in one place that he stayed, he had to keep his food in the fridge that was the owner of the house kept the cat food. It was according to Vedic principles. As a sannyasi, it was against the principles. But he was thinking, well, if I cannot compromise, how will I be able to begin this movement? So there are many things which time, place, and circumstance he had to adjust just in order to start his preaching movement. Srila Prabhupada conducted his activities with faith in the holy names and a desire to carry out his spiritual master's order. He improvised and accepted broken souls who came to him. This is a nice point. Broken souls. We were broken souls. This is the whole point of the material world, that we come with some idea of enjoying, but the very nature of material nature is that we will be kicked, not once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, 100 times. We will be kicked as many times that we are trying to make this world our home and a place to enjoy. So Prabhupada mentioned that. He said, we must suffer here. The suffering is not bad, it's good actually. And there's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam where Lord Brahma mentions how I and the demigods want to come to planet Earth so that we can become Krishna conscious. This is a very significant point, that they feel inadequate to become devotees, proper devotees in the heavenly planets, because the opulence is so great that it's an inconvenience for them to practice Krishna consciousness. So they negotiate about coming here. And therefore, Prabhupada, he pointed out that our children, they're not ordinary children, they're Vaikuntha children. They're coming from somewhere special. And this is why I like doing workshops with children, because they are very special. From a very early age, you will see them doing things which we are amazed. We cannot even do ourselves. How do they do that? And it can only be that because they have practiced Krishna consciousness or some kind of spiritual life before coming to this world. So not only the demigods, but also the sages, they are coming here, taking birth in the Hare Krishna movement to perfect their life. Srila Prabhupada also watched, in those early days, he watched boys and girls together, because he needed to study what the people in the Western world were like, and specifically this connection between male and female. It's different than in India. And he saw that they couldn't do without each other. And therefore, he established the Brahmachari ashram and the Brahmacharini ashram. But he got criticized for that by his own godbrothers, by changing things like that, giving Gayatri mantra to the women, by allowing them to live in the ashram, and many other things. What's that word I used? I have it written down here. Forget the word now, but he presented Krishna consciousness in a way that would facilitate the needs of everyone. And in one sense, this is also Lord Chaitanya's mood, that he wanted to deliver everyone. There was no distinction who was what's the word? Compatible or no, not compatible? Qualified, and who was not qualified. From Lord Chaitanya's point of view, everyone was a candidate for being a devotee, every single person. But still, there was some doubt amongst the ladies. One time Yamuna Devi Dasi approached Prabhupada and asked her, your Prabhus, your disciples' Prabhus, they will very easily go back home. We are women. We don't have the same opportunity. What shall we do? And Prabhupada's reply was, yes, that's correct. If you think you are a woman. He said, but you're not women anymore, you're Vaishnavis. Women, they have a certain way of doing things, right? I don't know what they do. A Vaishnavi is like this, dancing before the Lord. Where there should be any distinction. But Prabhupada's godbrothers were pointing out certain things. In 1973, I was there myself at the second Mayapur festival. The first Mayapur festival was in 1972, and there were 20 devotees. In 1973, there were 200 devotees, and it has been increasing ever since. And Prabhupada invited his godbrothers, and he allowed them to speak. Some of them spoke very favorably of Prabhupada's mission and what he had already accomplished, but others were a little critical. And this is one of the points that they brought up about women, receiving Gayatri allowed in the temple. There are other points too. Anyway, after the program, the prasadam distribution, Prabhupada called Malati over. She said, I want you to serve all the sannyasis prasadam. And you can imagine the faces of some of the godbrothers when Malati was serving prasadam. But Prabhupada said, this is Malati Devi Dasi, my disciple. She would cut her throat for me, and I would cut my throat for her. So, end of story. What could they say to that? And we have seen in our society that to be able to do everything that we need to do in serving the Lord, we need female devotees. Just like in this room this morning, you have garland makers at the back there. They're all female ladies, Vaishnavis. In Kiev once I was watching in the window how they were making the garlands. And they saw me in the window and they opened the door and they dragged me in. They said, sit down, we'll show you. You can make a garland yourself. Okay. It took 1 hour to make one garland. Some of these garlands that they make take 2 hours. Would any of you Prabhus have the patience to do that? Huh? What do you think? Who? Give him a clap. Yes, you're a unique personality among many personalities. Well, I was happy to have the experience because now I know the service is not easy and it requires a lot of patience and devotion. If you give me some flowers to put on the altar, I'll just take the whole bunch and put it in the vase and say, hey, Krishna, catch. Well, what do the Matajis do? They take one flower at a time, they place it in the jug, and they make sure it looks very nice. Isn't it? And then it's placed on the altar with love and devotion. This is a letter by Srila Prabhupada. So far, your question regarding women, I have always accepted the service of women without any distinction. Prabhupada's believability he would say sometimes, I am not just saying this, but I am convinced. Other times he would say, rest assured, take it from me. I know what I'm talking about. It is a fact. So please take it and accept it from me. If you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you will understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All these things will become revealed to you. Take it from me. There are higher planets. Just because you cannot see, it doesn't mean they do not exist. This is a problem with Western theologians. If they cannot see something, they do not believe. Now they're thinking maybe there's some other universes out there, because this universe they've discovered is so big. Maybe there are other universes, they're speculating. We only have to pick up the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's all there. There are hundreds and thousands of universes, and some of them are bigger, much bigger than this one. So try to understand with our tiny little brain the whole, just the material creation, but to speak of the spiritual creation. It cannot be understood with our little brain understanding. Therefore we must receive mercy from above to be able to understand the greatness of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Prabhupada would be asked questions. Are you happy? Prabhupada would say, if I told you yes, would you believe me? Do you know everything? Prabhupada said, I know what Krishna wants me to know, and he will tell me. Do you accept Jesus as the Lord? One time there was a lady, after a program, she stood up. She was upset. Why don't you do welfare work for the needy, the homeless, the needy? She was thinking that we are dancing in the street and wasting our time. There's no benefit for anyone. Prabhupada pointed out that your compassion is like blowing on a boil. He was very direct sometimes. He said, your compassion is like blowing on a boil. You know what a boil is? When I came to Krishna consciousness, the second day that I was in the temple, there was a big fight between two devotees. And it was a big fight. And I ran to the temple president. I said, what's this? I came to the temple for love and peace, and this is what I get? And he said, yes, this is a temple, but it's also a devotional hospital. Everyone who comes here, they're sick. They need the medicine to get well. And he said to me, don't worry, something will happen to you too. And I was thinking, well, what could possibly happen to me? I'm an ex-hippie. Love and peace and everything like that. 2 weeks later, this boil came up. I still have the scar. Can you see the scar there? You can take darshan afterwards, okay? But it came right up like this. And I came running again. I said, "What is this?" He said, "I told you something would happen to you." He said, "Don't worry. This is Krishna's mercy on you. Your body is so contaminated that Krishna has brought all the contamination to one point so that you can get relief. Haribol. So Prabhupada said, you can blow on a boil or you can lance it. If you blow on the boil, it gives some relief, but not very long. If you lance it, it's not a nice thing to experience, but very quickly you will get rid of the contamination. So he was saying how Krishna consciousness, we're going to the root of all problems. Social problems are there, welfare problems are there, medical problems, medicinal difficulties are there. But the root of all problems is the lack of Krishna consciousness. So we're giving Krishna consciousness so that you will be able to resolve all problems. So when you come to Krishna consciousness, you'll see your mind is peaceful, your senses are illuminated with knowledge. You don't become older, you become younger. Isn't it? Sometimes people say, "How old are you?" They think I'm 50 years old. I'm 72. What about that? Haribol. I'm limping a little bit, but, I'm still, as Prabhupada would say, they say I am old, but I feel like a 16-year-old boy. So, this is the nature of spiritual life. Because we're acting on the platform of the soul. Non-devotees, they act on the platform of the body. So on that platform, they're always looking at their body and worrying about their body, this and that. Body, body, body. Body, body, body. Body, body. And we're on the platform of the soul. So we naturally become enlivened and enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, whatever age we are. An Indian gentleman once came to see Srila Prabhupada in his room. He prostrated himself before Srila Prabhupada and asked him, "Swami, you will save me. You can enlighten me." Srila Prabhupada said, "I cannot enlighten you. I cannot teach you how. I can teach you how you can be enlightened, but you have to do the work yourself." So this is very common in India, give me the mercy for this, give me the mercy for that, as if you don't have to do anything. It's like Prabhupada gave the story, a man falls down the well, he's crying for help, help, help. And one other man came, he looked down the well, "Oh, you need help, just 1 minute, I'll get a rope." So he passes the rope down. And what does the man in the well say? Huh? He says, "Can you give me the mercy to hold on to the rope? I've given you the rope, that's my mercy. Now you get and hold it." and I'll pull you up. Another time, devotee disciple asked Prabhupada, can you give me the mercy to read your books? Prabhupada said, I produce the books. That's my mercy. It's up to you to read them. So it's not that we sit around waiting for the mercy to come down. We must be reciprocants of mercy. When Prabhupada or your Guru sees that you're sincere, and Krishna sees you're sincere, there's unlimited mercy to be given. But you have to do the work to receive it. It was so nice to see you all dancing this morning. This is so nice to see in this temple. Every time I come, brahmacharis are dancing very jubilantly. And this is inspiring for all of us. I was very inspired when I saw you dancing. In fact, one of the reasons why I've come to India is to recharge my batteries. Because right now my batteries are flat. And India is a good place to come, especially to the Holy Dham. Just 2 days in the Holy Dham, you see the changes already taking place. Your japa is more concentrated. Everything about the Holy Dham just gives you that extra charge to be able to practice every day your Krishna consciousness practices. One time a devotee said to Prabhupada, this world is an illusion. Prabhupada said, how can you say this world is an illusion? The mountains are beautiful, the rivers are beautiful, the sea is beautiful, the sky, the trees, everything is beautiful. How can you say it's an illusion? He says it's not an illusion, but it's all temporary. That's the problem. There's a temporary relief here. You know, we talk about the Ukrainians being refugees, but actually we're all refugees in one sense. Every one of us is a refugee. We're not really in our homeland. Just like when you go from let's say from Delhi to London, you may have to stop somewhere, Frankfurt, in transit before going to London. So what do you get in transit? You get a seat, you may be able to get a drink, and that's all. You're in transit. There's nothing really there that you can say is your home. So this is the problem. We're all in refugees, we're all in transit, and we need to go to where we belong, which is back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada said the spiritual world is 1,000,000 times more beautiful than this world. So there is some beauty here, but Krishna explains it's just the spark of my splendor. My real splendor is in the spiritual world. And one particle of dust in the spiritual world cannot compare to the whole material creation. This is how he explained. So when you go back home, back to Godhead, you'll be very surprised. The first thing you see, to my understanding, is the first you will see is Krishna. When you see Krishna's beauty, that is a surprise in itself. One time Prabhupada was asked, why is Krishna blue? Well, he's blue because he wants to be blue. We think blue. We look at our color, we think it's so nice. Pink, brown. When a question was asked, what is it like to see Krishna when you see him for the first time? So Prabhupada gave the example that Just like in the summertime here, it's very, very hot. Very hot. I had experienced that back in 1973. I was here in Delhi trying to help Tejas Prabhu in his mission to please Prabhupada. But the summer was getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and one day I came to Tejas and I said, I cannot take this heat any longer. I need to go back to the West. And Tejas Prabhu, he said, well, who's going to do your service? You cannot go to the West unless you find someone to do your service. That's how difficult it was in those days. Every man was so important. And we didn't have return tickets. We were at the mercy of the temple president. But Tejas wasn't going to give me any money. So one day I escaped from the temple. One devotee helped me tie some sheets together and lowered me down the balcony. And I went and took my journey back to the west, overland. By the time I got back to Vedanta Matter, no one could recognize me. I was so thin. So don't think that you're having difficulties today. You have everything at your disposal. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Huh? Yeah, what was I saying before that? Huh? What was I saying before I was talking about that? The heat of the summer, yeah. The heat of the summer is so, you know yourself what it's like. And then suddenly there's this monsoon cloud in the distance. I heard that the first monsoon clouds are very beautiful, and they're just like Krishna's bluish black color. He said, just like when you see the first monsoon cloud, you feel, finally, the summer is over. Like that. Finally. So when you meet Krishna, he embraces you, and you're like, wow. And he asks you, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. Never mind, this is all yours. And he points to the spiritual world around. This is all yours. So we inherit the kingdom of God along with Krishna. He doesn't want to enjoy it himself alone. And don't think that he doesn't need you. My understanding is that we all have a unique relationship with Krishna, which is so unique that Krishna feels he's missing something without you. Missing something without you. Something within his pastimes. So he's actually waiting for us to come back more than we want to come back. He is waiting for us. And he's giving us the spiritual world. When we look back on the experience we had in the material world, we will be shocked to think, why did I ever go there? Why did I ever go there? There's nothing there. And this is the experience you will have. You want to go back home? Well, yeah, if you say so, Maharaj. Do you want to go back home? Woo! That's better. One of Prabhupada's godbrothers pointed out that your disciples are not very cultured. Prabhupada said, yes, but they'll do anything I will ask them. Another godbrother said to Prabhupada, why do your disciples chant the Hare Krishna mantra so slowly? You know, especially when we're on the mental platform. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sorry, I'm from England. We like to make jokes. But anyway, he said, why they chant so slowly? And Prabhupada said, because it's a foreign language to them. You know, we don't have any taste. We don't have any taste, so we need to practice. But one day we will taste the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada said there's no price to pay for being a devotee. Did you get the mantra free? They didn't charge you here? You got it free, right? Prasadam's free. Books are almost free. Krishna consciousness is free. But Prabhupada said there is one price you must pay. Does anyone know what that price is? Lowly, that's correct. Your eagerness. That's all. That's the only price. Prabhupada said if you see a non-devotee running down the road to serve Maya, you should run down the road past him to serve Krishna. Well, I don't know how long you're stopping at 9. I can go on. Yeah? All right. If there's any questions you want to ask, then I can. Yeah. Does he have a mic? Yeah.
The introduction I heard that you are doing a lot of japa workshop, and now you are talking about mental platform japa. So can you tell something of different levels of japa, or how we should gradually grow in japa?
Mental platform, yeah? Yeah, it's one of our biggest problems, the mental platform. Mind is not really our friend yet. It will become your friend. At one point your mind will come to you with folded hands. I want to be a devotee, I want to help you. Give me a bead bag. But at the moment we don't want the mind. Hey, mind, go away. Get lost. Hut, hut, like a dog. Hut, hut, go. Because the mind is so restless. It's like chanting japa in front of a washing machine. How can you chant with a mind like that? So you have to go extra determination. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I will not be defeated, even by you, Mr. Mind. So this is why, as we were pointing out, eagerness is very important, because your eagerness can overturn the mind, because the mind is not very intelligent. You can also call the mind, hey mind, come here. Yeah, come here. Sit down. I want to negotiate with you. I've just got 16 rounds I want to do. If you help me chant my 16 rounds, then afterwards you can do whatever you like. So the mind is thinking, you mean anything I like? Yeah. Okay, sounds like a good deal. But it's a trick. What's the trick? What is the trick?
After 16 now,
Huh?
it will be purified after 16.
Yes, after chanting 16 rounds, your mind is peaceful. Doesn't want to go anywhere. We have to tolerate, Prabhupada said. There's a lot of things we tolerate. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can say, right, that's it. From today on, I will control my mind. Ha, ha, ha. Arjuna couldn't do it. How you think you will do it? What did Arjuna say? What you're asking me to do is impossible. And Krishna said, yes, it's true, but with determination, practice and determination, you can overcome even the mind. Because Krishna will help you. He's Rishikesha. He's the master of the senses. He will help. Is that okay? Just push on. We will not be defeated. We will not be defeated. You must have that determination.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Maharaj, in the same question, how to maintain the strength to push the mind, like sometime we go with the mind. So how to keep and regularly get that strength to obstruct the mind?
All these how do I questions, simple. Just carry on doing what you're doing already. There's no special formula for you. We're all in the same boat. I'm on the boat too. I may be sannyasi, but my mind is also rascal. We're all on the same boat. We all need each other's association. Prabhupada said all these practices that we do early in the morning, they are the backbone of our Krishna consciousness. You know yourself, if you have a problem with your back, your whole body collapses. Nothing you can do. So if you carry on, obviously if you carry on with these simple practices of Krishna consciousness on a day-to-day basis, chanting 16 rounds, attending Mangalarti, attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class, regularly visiting the holy dham. You know, the main points, the main items of Krishna consciousness, if they're practiced nicely, then all these how do I questions will be resolved. Guaranteed. Anything else? So I'll leave it there. Thank you for your attention. I give comment, yes?
Thank you, Maharaj. I will speak in Hindi and English both because it is going to some channel. So speak Hindi and English both. Or somebody can translate whatever I speak in Hindi. So take mic from Maharaj and translate into English. No, there are some other devotees also who do not follow Hindi. So take mic. तो आज महाराज ने जो प्रभुपाद के कुछ संस्मरण बताए उनसे मुझे कुछ एक बात समझ में आई है.
So today Maharaj has shared many pastimes of Prabhupada, so I have understood one thing from out of it.
तो प्रभुपाद ने प्रार्थना की थी श्री कृष्ण से कि उनको ऐसी बुद्धि प्रदान करें ताकि वे कृष्ण भावनामृत को फैला सकें.
Srila Prabhupada prayed to Lord Krishna that please give me intelligence so I can spread your message.
तो प्रभुपाद ने जब देखा कि उनके गुरु महाराज ने जैसे भारत में बहुत से मठ बनाए हैं तो वैसे मठ विदेशों में नहीं बना सकते हैं.
नहीं बना सकते।
घोड़िया मठ, हाँ, वैसे मठ विदेशों में नहीं बन सकते।
When Srila Prabhupada saw his God brothers that they have made many Gaudiya mutts in India, so from that he understood that in foreign countries he cannot make such Gaudiya mutts.
Not God brothers, his Guru Maharaj.
His Guru Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
The way his Guru Maharaj has made many Gaudiya mutts in India, he cannot make such Gaudiya mutts in West.
हाँ, क्योंकि विदेशों में इस प्रकार की संस्कृति कल्चर इस तरह की है कि लड़के और लड़कियां एक साथ ही रहते हैं।
Because in the West, like culture is very different, as boys and girls they stay together.
तो फिर प्रभुपाद ने मंदिरों का निर्माण कराया।
That's why Srila Prabhupada built many temples over there.
और विधिवत विवाह किया, लड़के लड़कियों का विधिवत विवाह किया।
And he got them to get married as per the rules and regulations.
उसके बाद फिर महाराज ने बताया कि एक जो माताजी थी उन्होंने प्रभुपाद से पूछा कि मैं स्त्री हूँ तो मेरे द्वारा कैसे भक्ति हो सकती है या मैं कैसे भक्ति में आगे बढ़ सकती हूँ। एक माताजी यमुना माताजी
came to Srila Prabhupada and asked how I can serve the Supreme Lord.
हाँ, क्योंकि मैं स्त्री हूँ,
since I am a woman.
हाँ, तो वैसे हमारे श्रीमद् भागवत में ग्रंथों में बताया गया है कि स्त्री को जो है अपने पति की सेवा करनी चाहिए और पति की सेवा से ही उसको पूरी तरह से उसकी सुरक्षा प्राप्त होती है।
As per the Srimad Bhagavatam, that if a woman should supposed to serve her husband, that is like directions given in scriptures for any woman.
लेकिन
प्रभुपाद she will get perfection.
लेकिन प्रभुपाद ने ये उत्तर नहीं दिया उसको यमुना माता जी को।
But Srila Prabhupada was not agreed to it.
ऋषि कुमार को दो, ऋषि कुमार को दो। तो प्रभुपाद ने ये उत्तर नहीं दिया।
तो Prabhupada didn't give this answer.
कि स्त्री जो है अपने पति को पूर्ण समर्पित होए और उनकी सेवा में लगी रहे तो उसको भक्ति प्राप्त हो जाएगी।
That the woman should be completely surrendered to her husband and serve him in order that she can get perfection in devotional service.
हाँ, तो प्रभुपाद को कृष्ण ने ऐसी बुद्धि प्रदान की ताकि वे जो है उस समय और परिस्थिति के अनुसार उचित उत्तर दे सकें।
So Krishna gave this kind of intelligence to Srila Prabhupada that as per the time, place and circumstance, he will give that appropriate answer.
तो प्रभुपाद ने क्या उत्तर दिया?
So what answer did Prabhupada give?
कि तुम अगर अपने को स्त्री समझती हो तो फिर तुम भक्ति में आगे नहीं बढ़ सकती।
If you think of yourself as a woman, then you will not be able to make progress in bhakti.
प्रभुपाद ने उत्तर दिया कि तुम अगर वैष्णवी हो, और जैसे भक्त हैं, पुरुष भक्त हैं, उसी प्रकार से तुमको भी भक्ति करना है तो तुम भक्ति में आगे बढ़ोगी।
Prabhupada replied that if you are a Vaishnavi and if you want to perform devotional service just like the male devotees, you will similarly be able to make progress.
तो प्रभुपाद ने बिल्कुल सही उत्तर दिया क्योंकि उनका जो है बचपन से ही इस प्रकार का जो वातावरण था वो ऐसा था कि बराबर रहेंगे और गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड के रूप में रहते हैं।
So Prabhupada gave an answer which is appropriate to her upbringing and condition because they are from childhood used to the fact that there could be girlfriends and boyfriends and them staying together.
तो प्रभुपाद के पास भगवान ने ऐसी बुद्धि प्रदान की, नहीं तो हम शास्त्र में ही पढ़ते हैं कि स्त्री के लिए जो है और कोई दूसरा उपाय नहीं है, वो केवल अपने पति की सेवा करे और पति की सेवा से उसको पति का जो है पूरा जो भक्ति का फल है वो प्राप्त हो जाएगा।
So Prabhupada was given this appropriate intelligence by Krishna, though the scriptures say that if you serve the husband, the wife will gain perfection, but Prabhupada gave this answer that she can get as much equal opportunity to do bhakti as her husband, as the men.
हाँ, तो प्रभुपाद ने जो विवाह कराया, जो पति पत्नी के रूप में रहेंगे लेकिन मित्र के रूप में रहेंगे, वैष्णव और वैष्णवी के रूप में रहेंगे।
So they will be husband and wife and they are formally legally married, but they will not just be husband and wife, they will also be friends.
तो ये प्रभुपाद के पास वास्तव में श्री कृष्ण ही केवल बुद्धि ऐसी प्रदान की, नहीं तो ऐसे उत्तर कभी दिए नहीं गए।
So Krishna himself gave this intelligence to Srila Prabhupada, otherwise nobody else could have given this kind of an answer.
धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
रुद्राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, His Holiness धीर शांत गोस्वामी महाराज की। Thank you, Prabhu.